Welcome to Six String Stories. My name is Clint. Today's video is going to be a little different. This one is for the spouses, significant others, mothers, brothers, all those people who have a guitar player in your life. This video is for you. Guitar players are really hard to shop for. They, and by they I mean me, usually have a running list of gear that they're looking to purchase: guitars, pedals, all that stuff, whether in their head or written down. Now, some of this stuff can be tricky because we all have our own preferences of what we like, but this should help you out a little bit. So here we go, the top 6 gifts for guitar players under $200. And keep in mind here, the reason we're trying to stay under $200 is that's pretty attainable for most people and probably a little more realistic than spending thousands of dollars. I will also put links in the description below to make it easy on you to find all these products. So first up on the list at number 6 is basically all the stuff that we don't really like buying. Accessories. Now I know accessories can be a little tricky, but I've got a few safe bets that won't break the bank and should help you out. So let's start with the first type of accessory that we all need: guitar strings. And right off the bat, I'm gonna send you to stringjoy.com and tell you to buy a gift card. I know, gift cards are super lame, but the reason I'm sending you to Stringjoy specifically is that they are a small local business here in Nashville, Tennessee, and I love supporting local businesses. The second reason I'm sending you to Stringjoy is because their business model is a little different than most of the strings you'll find at like big box stores. Stringjoy actually makes all of their own strings. So there's really only a handful of big companies making strings, and everything just gets repackaged and repurposed for different brands. Stringjoy is a little different in the fact that they make everything in-house, and it's super customizable, and it's just a great company to work with. Highly recommend it. Stringjoy.com, grab a gift card. So another key accessory that really any guitar player can't have too many of is tuners. Now I'd recommend a clip-on tuner, and specifically just a Snark, something really simple. It's like 12 to 15 bucks. Really, that's all you need. Don't overthink this one. Buy a clip-on tuner. So cables are another tricky thing, and really you can't have too many cables. The key thing to look for here is something that's more on the pro level, and that is properly shielded. So for a more budget-friendly cable that I actually have experience with, I'd recommend the Audio Blast HQ1. I've been really happy with these. I've had zero noise issues since I switched over to these last year. Like I said, you can't have too many cables. Next up on the list are guitar pedals. So I can vouch that pretty much any guitar player would be super stoked to get a pedal for Christmas. Any pedal, really. I'm not sure what it is about pedals, but they're addicting, they're fun, and we love getting pedals. So you really can't go wrong here, but I will give you a few suggestions. So my first pedal suggestion is something that's on every pro Nashville player's board, and that's a Nobles ODR1. Any player is going to appreciate this as a gift, and the cool thing about it is it's a nice iteration from another green pedal that they may already own. Next in the pedal category is a looper pedal. So looper pedals are fun because you can record something and play back over it, capture ideas. It's a really great practice tool. Specifically, the More Groove Loop is a pedal I've used and have enjoyed for a couple of years. What makes this one unique is that not only can you record simple loops, but you can also add drum samples over top of your loops or play along with the drum samples. And it's a lot of fun because it gives you some different variety, different inspiration, and it's pretty easy to get lost in this pedal for a couple hours practicing and just having some fun, exploring new ideas. For another fun pedal that they probably don't have, but they should have, is the JHS Super Bowl. Now this is in the category of an amp in a box pedal. It's meant to sound like a specific amp, and it basically does one thing, but it does that one thing really, really well. So definitely check this one out, it's a lot of fun. So no pedal list would be complete without the Greer Lightspeed Organic Overdrive. Now this is the pedal. This is my favorite pedal of all time. I honestly feel like it's one of those pedals that every guitar player should own. So if they don't already own it, this is the one that you should get if you can swing it. This maxes out our $200 budget, but it's worth every penny, I promise. So moving along, number 4 on the list is a practice amp. This is a piece of gear that is severely underrated. I'm talking about something small, portable, and easily accessible. Practice amps should not only sound good, but they should lower the barrier to entry to start playing guitar, to pick up a guitar and practice. My recommendation would be a Boss Katana. There's a few different levels of these and different price points. I'll put a link to a couple different ones below, but these sound fantastic at pretty much every setting. You get all the sounds you could ever want. These are great because they're small enough you can kind of tuck them away, but they're still really accessible when you just want to play. You don't want to think about pedals, you don't want to think about settings, you just want to pick up a guitar and play. That's the point of a practice amp, to lower the barrier to entry and just practice and play. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, just having fun. Now, number 3 is something a little different than the other items on this list, and it falls in the same vein of practice. I'd recommend purchasing some online guitar lessons, and even more specifically, probably a membership or subscription service. There are so many great membership sites to be a part of, and depending on skill level and the style that you play, you could go in a lot of different directions here. So if they're more of a beginner to intermediate player, and they like blues, rock, country, that type of thing, these are my recommendations: Marty Music, Active Melody, and TrueFire. Each one of these have great online lessons available, and I'd be thrilled to have any of these as a guitar player. Super diverse, a lot to learn, and great teachers. So definitely check these out and go from there. And really, if you need some help with this one, just ask them who some of their favorite YouTubers are that are guitar players, and most likely that YouTuber has some sort of lesson program available. So number 2 on our top 6 is pretty easy: a guitar. Buy them a guitar. We love guitars. Buy anything really, and we'd be thrilled. Now, this list is mostly focused on items $200 or less, so let's start there. Honestly, most guitars under $200 are complete crap, so be careful. But if you do know what to look for, there's some great guitars to be had for under $200, believe it or not. For a great acoustic guitar, I highly recommend Orangewood Guitars. It's a company out of California. Now, these are made overseas and sent to California, and they do final setup and tweaking as necessary, and I can't find a bad review on these. So their guitars start at $195 and go up from there, but if you do some research, you'll see the guitars priced at $195 have killer reviews, and it's hard to find anything bad about them. It's honestly a ridiculous price for a great playing and sounding acoustic guitar. If you're looking for a great budget electric guitar, I would recommend a brand called Firefly Guitars, found on Amazon. These are also made overseas, but they're doing some really great stuff. And again, I can't find bad reviews on this guitar. You may get a dud here and there, but for the most part, if you look at the reviews on Amazon and also start searching on Google and YouTube, you'll find a lot of great reviews for a guitar that is ridiculously priced. For instance, this one in particular is a semi-hollow guitar, Gibson 335 style type of thing. It's priced at $160. That is ridiculous. This is most likely something the guitar player in your life does not already have and would probably be thrilled to get. Now, that's a couple options under $200. If you can double that budget and get to about $400, the Squier Classic Vibe series are fantastic. You get all your classic Fender designs, and they play phenomenal. I played a handful of these, and every single one was fantastic. At $400, this is probably one of the best Fender style electric guitars that money can buy. Definitely check it out. Now, anything above and beyond that price point, it's probably going to be decent, and it's probably going to be well received, so don't overthink this one. The fact is, we love guitars. All right, so number 1 of our top 6 gifts for guitar players. What else could possibly be on the list that we haven't talked about already? Cash. Cold hard cash. Ugh, I know that can be boring, but cash is king. Doesn't seem that thoughtful, but if you remember earlier in the video, I said every guitar player has some sort of running list of gear that they'd like to purchase, so what better thing to give them than cash? This eliminates all the research on your end, all the overthinking, really eliminates this video. Now, there's a few ways you can make this a little more personal and thoughtful. One way is to get like a glass jar, label it Guitar Fund, and start it off with a decent amount of cash in there. That'll get them going. All right, that's it. My top 6 gifts for guitar players. This list is based off my own personal preferences and does not apply to every player, but hopefully there's something in there that'll spark an idea for you and help you out. And if you're a guitar player yourself and you've made it this far, is there anything on the list that I may have missed that you would have added yourself? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If this was helpful, don't forget to hit the like button below. I really appreciate the support, and we will see you next time.